This is Cincinnati Edition on 91.7 WVXU. I'm Michael Monks. Avondale is one of Cincinnati's most populous neighborhoods, but it's been without a dedicated grocery store since 2008. The neighborhood's long spell without a full-scale food market, though, looks to be ending soon as a new store ramps up in the recently constructed Avondale Town Center. I spoke earlier with the operators. Here is our recorded conversation. Joining us now are Chanel and Tanel Bryant, the owners of the Country Meat Company Marketplace, coming to Avondale early next year. Tanel, Chanel, thank you for being with us.
Great to be here.
Thanks for having us.
We also have with us Reggie Harris, Director of Community Life, Ohio, Indianapolis, for the Community Builders. He's also a candidate for Cincinnati City Council in this year's election. Reggie, welcome back to Cincinnati Edition.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Chanel and Tanel, I know this has been a long time coming. We've discussed this grocery store opportunity on this program before, and now it looks like you're taking some pretty big steps to make this dream a reality. Where are we in this process currently?
We currently are going to meet with the general contractor next week. Once we meet with the general contractor, we will get everything laid out and get some dates set. And then from that part, we'll get the ball rolling and get a grocery store coming.
So, Tanel, I imagine that must be exciting because you've been visualizing this in your mind for so long, and now you're meeting with someone who's going to execute that vision. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. I mean, the vision we pretty much have, on paper. It's just, actually, seeing the renderings and all that great stuff. But the store is going to be an awesome store. I mean, I can kind of, give you a couple golden nuggets, if I would say,
Yeah, please.
So we'll have, like a wine tasting area. Obviously we'll have your fresh produce, your shelf stable items. We'll have your fresh meat, all those items, dairy. We're going to have, a lot of the, obviously the Cincinnati favorites, as well as a lot of the fresh foods and meats that we bring in our area of expertise. So we're looking forward, to this store being a destination place. So we definitely expect you to be a weekly shopper there.
I'm looking forward to checking it out, and I know a lot of people are too. Chanel, tell us a little bit about how the community has reacted to the progress so far, and I'm sure that you're experiencing some impatience from them. Let's get on with it. Let's check this place out.
Yeah, we are. We're super excited and wanting to get in and get it rolling.
And as far as the neighborhood's reaction to this, have they indicated to you, neighbors in Avondale, have they talked to you about how important it is to have a full service grocery store again after the loss of the last full service grocery store about 13 years ago?
Yes, the neighborhood is super, super exciting. Down from the little bitty kids to the people that have been there for years and years and years. I mean, right now they don't have anything close to go to, and now they'll have something in walking distance. And not only will it be in walking distance, but it'll have great fresh items for them, like Tanel had stated, fresh produce, fresh meat. So they are super pumped and are our biggest fan right now. They are pushing it and very, very happy and excited and cannot wait for it to open.
I mean, they're to piggyback off of that, they're sending us, selfies and when we're in the pub, they're coming down to our other locations, just talking about how excited they are. And, we're getting letters, emails, a lot of positive feedback. So it's exciting that they're happy that, they're now getting a community grocery store again.
The Country Meat Company Marketplace will locate early next year in the new Avondale Town Center. The Community Builders, a nonprofit development organization, was instrumental in developing that. Reggie Harris is the Director of Community Life, Ohio, Indianapolis, for the Community Builders. Reggie, build on that a little bit. Talk about the significance of this type of investment serving this type of need in that community specifically.
Yeah, I think what is incredible about this process is that we are in a time where we're thinking a lot about, and there's lots of discussion about affordable housing. And what we know as the community builders is that in addition to bringing affordable housing to a community, a community has to have amenities. A community has to have those necessary tools, those necessary resources in order to be a thriving and vibrant community. And a grocery store is the bedrock of those amenities in a community. We also believe in terms of being a developer and being responsive to what the community states that they need. And coming into Avondale at the top of the list was having a grocery store. And so it is a really exciting time. And I believe it's a win for our neighborhood, and it's a win for collaborative development to be able to respond to the needs of the community and to bring necessary amenities to the community. I do want to add and just commend that I am so excited to work with Tanel and Chanel. This has been a long time coming, but part of the reason why this process has taken so long is because Tanel and Chanel are the consummate professionals. They know the grocery business, they know their work. And so we created a plan that has all of the I's dotted and the T's crossed, because sustainability is what is incredibly important to both the community builders. And I feel that I can speak on behalf of Tanel and Chanel, the Bryants, and their business model. So yes, this is a time to really celebrate, and I think a model that can be used across the city, because unfortunately a lot of neighborhoods are struggling food deserts.
That's something I wanted to ask you about, Reggie, is whether this is something that could be replicated elsewhere. It's certainly not the only neighborhood that could use a grocery store and better access to healthier and fresher foods. But this is a pretty significant investment. I know City Council allocated about $500,000 for this project as well. Talk a bit about the financial commitment that goes into a development like this.
Yeah, so, I think that there are a couple of things we want to think about. So yes, a collaboration between public-private dollars in order to create an infrastructure that will allow the business to be successful and ultimately profitable, right? That's at the core of that. We also learned that we came to this project with a bit of an advantage, having an already built out space. So we're not trying to renovate a new space or build a grocery space from the ground up, but an existing shell of a space, right? The dollars that the community came together, right, to donate to this project and to invest in this project really is making sure that we can get the project off the ground and running, and Tanel and Chanel can run a profitable business. So it's an investment on the front end that takes a little bit of burden off the building out and the construction and the appliances and supplies. And I've learned so much about grocery stores and refrigeration that are cost prohibitive. But if we invest upfront in those necessary items, then business folks like Tanel and Chanel can construct a business model that works and that will be sustainable. So yes, this is a replicable process, and we are totally looking forward to sharing our best practices and what we've learned. And we've already had conversations with our friends and partners in Walnut Hills and Roselawn.
The Country Meat Company Marketplace is set to come to Avondale early next year. The owners are Chanel and Tanel Bryant. Chanel, Tanel, I want to ask you all, I want to get to know you all a little bit better, because when we think of groceries these days, you've basically got a few giants around here. How do people who are independent decide that they want to go into the grocery business?
Well, we already had the Country Meat Co. that's at the Findlay Market, and we have one also in Louisville, Kentucky. And when we look at those and they are successful and we get great support and great feedback, we just knew that we can step it up to the next level. And with the continued support and actually just expand a little bit more, that we can hit it out the ballpark with it. So it was a dream that we had always talked about, and it just came to reality when the community builders came to us and brought the idea to us.
Well, Tanel, talk a little bit about what that next level means. So what's going to be different? What might be tougher for you all as you move into this larger scale?
Well, I think the next level is you kind of mentioned it is really taking this model that we have with the fresh fruits and produce and fresh meats, taking that model and actually scaling that up to be a service to other communities. I mean, this is not the only community that has this issue. So overall, our goal is to be that solution to areas that, obviously don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. So we're actually looking, this is a perfect starting point, but, our goal is to, definitely expand our footprint to be a solution, to the communities that are definitely in need.
Well, talk about your working relationship, Chanel and Tanel. How do you all divide up responsibilities as you start to grow this little empire you've got budding?
Right.
We each have, as they say, we have our own lane. We stay in our lane. And because we stay in our lane, we work perfect together.
Well, what's your lane?
My lane is operations, day-to-day operations. Tanel's lane is bringing the business and growing the business, basically just continuing to grow it. And then, of course, we definitely will add more professionals, more people to the team to put the puzzle together to make this perfect.
What type of operation do you expect? I mean, you're going to have some employees, I imagine, at this market.
Oh, definitely. Looking from possibly 20 to 30 employees. We want to make it to be a well-oiled machine. So definitely having more employees, general manager, produce section, meat section, regular old full-fledged grocery store.
Does anything scare you all about this? Anything you're nervous about as you are perhaps doing it for the first time at this level?
No. I mean, I'm just one of those. I mean, here, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm a sports guy. I played sports my whole life, and here locally, and in college as well. And I played the toughest position on the field, which is cornerback. I don't know if you're a sports guy or not, but the corner, and most people can understand it, you're always at a disadvantage. So with that being said, you always have to be reactionary. So I feel like those things that I have learned and been a part of throughout, my high school and collegiate career, those things helped me in business. So there's really nothing to be scared of. I mean, we're already, the only difference is we have more SKUs than what we currently have now. So, so I'm not too really worried about it. I'm looking at, I think it's going to be, a huge success, and, we're excited about it.
Let's bring back in Reggie Harris, Director of Community Life, Ohio, Indianapolis, for The Community Builders, which is a nonprofit development organization that aided in the development of the Avondale Town Center, where the Country Meat Company Marketplace will locate. Reggie, what has been the impact on a neighborhood like Avondale since that Aldi grocery closed back in 2008?
Yeah, so the impact has been pretty devastating. So, we have seen a rise in illnesses that are directly related to diet. So thinking about diabetes and hypertension. I think that on another level, grocery stores are natural community gathering spots. Grocery stores are places where people in the community run into each other, and exchange of valuable information is given in grocery stores. And so you see the absence of having a central space to gather in the community. But I also want to highlight some of the strengths, and I want to highlight some of the resilience in Avondale. And so a positive outcome, and one of the things that we are working to continue with the Bryans, is that there has been a real investment in connecting residents to fresh produce and healthy cooking classes, and working with our partners at Gabriel's Place to create community around food and cooking. So though we lost a necessary amenity, the work in centering food and how food is such a critical piece of our health, our mental health, our spiritual health, our community health, makes Avondale a prime neighborhood for a new grocery store that is offering all of these fresh produce and fresh meat products. The community is ready to support the new grocery store ready to think about creative ways of engaging the grocery store, and really primed to think about the success of the grocery store through a food and sort of social justice lens. So yeah, we're pumped and ready. And I do want to add one thing is that Sale and Chanel have also been really great because they mentioned those 20 to 30 jobs. Those 20 to 30 jobs, we have structures in place to be able to hire local Avondale residents so that people are able to live, work, and play in their community.
Let's turn back to Chanel and Tanel Bryant, owners of the Country Meat Company Marketplace, coming to Avondale early next year. Let me ask you both, what are you most excited about with this new endeavor? I imagine there's a lot of excitement. I imagine there's maybe even a little bit of stress as you work your way through this process as construction gets underway. But what's that thing you're looking forward to the most when those doors open?
Everyone smile when they walk in. I'm anticipating just people walking in and being in awe and being excited that they now have a grocery store in Avondale.
Chanel and Tanel Bryant, the owners of the Country Meat Company Marketplace, and Reggie Harris, Director of Community Life, Ohio, Indianapolis at The Community Builders. Thanks to all of you for being with us today, and good luck with this. We'll be interested in seeing the progress, and I'm sure we'll talk again before it opens, and we'll see you when it does. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And you've been listening to Cincinnati Edition on 91.7 WVXU. Our producer is Selena Reeder. Our assistant producer is Nick Swartzel. Our technical director is Josh Elstro. Our theme music is composed by Rob Fetters. You can find archives of our program online at WVXU.org. I'm Michael Monks. We'll talk again tomorrow.